The sky was torn by wings. Shadows fell across the valley as a herd of dragons descended from the clouds. Their scales shimmered like burning jewels, red, green, and silver. Each beat of their wings shook the ground. Each roar rattled the stones. Villagers hid in fear. Doors slammed shut. But one man stood still, staring. A human man, ordinary in size, fragile compared to the beasts before him. The dragons landed with thunder, their claws sinking into the soil. The largest among them lowered his massive head. His golden eyes filled with something no one had ever seen before. Not anger, not pride, but desperation. The ground shook as he spoke, his voice like rolling fire. Human, we need your help. The man blinked, his heart pounding. A dragon herd, mighty rulers of the sky, begging him for aid. It was unthinkable. He wanted to run, to hide. But their eyes locked on him. Dozens of giant creatures, bending their necks lower, not to destroy, but to plead. Suspense filled the air, thick and heavy. Why him? Why would dragons seek a human? The leader spoke again. Our nests are dying. Our eggs are being taken by a power we cannot fight. His voice cracked like breaking stone. We are fire, we are claw, we are storm. But this enemy devours us without fear. The man swallowed hard. I am only human. He whispered. Why ask me? The dragon lowered closer, smoke curling from his nostrils. Because we have no choice. The human's confusion deepened. He looked at his calloused hands, at the fragile body that trembled before their might. How could he help? He had no wings, no fire, no strength. But he saw their eyes, proud creatures humbling themselves. He could not turn away. With hesitant breath, he nodded. Tell me what hunts you? The dragons roared, the sound shaking the mountains. But their roars carried not fury, but relief. The leader said, Then come with us and see. The man climbed upon the back of a young silver-scaled dragon. The creature spread its wings and leapt into the sky. The earth fell away beneath him. The air tore past his face. For the first time, he saw the world as dragons saw it. Endless mountains, rivers of fire glowing in the dark, valleys deep as oceans, clouds thick as storms. His heart raced, fear and wonder mixed as one. Hours passed as they flew. The herd soared in silence, wings cutting through the wind. But the deeper they flew into dragon territory, the stranger the world became. The mountains glowed faintly, humming with unnatural energy. The river shimmered not with fire, but with mechanical light. And far below, buried in stone, he saw it metal structures, ancient machines sleeping in the earth. His eyes widened. This is not nature, he whispered. The silver dragon beneath him growled. It is the curse that hunts us. They landed on a cliff, overlooking their nesting grounds. The human's breath caught in his chest. Dozens of massive dragon eggs lay in deep craters, glowing faintly like stars. But around them, black machines crawled. Insect-like with legs of steel, they stabbed the eggs with long needles, draining light and life from within. The dragons roared in fury, but none dared charge. The machines twisted, shifting like shadows. Each time dragon fire touched them, they absorbed the heat and grew stronger. The man's heart pounded. This was no sickness, no natural predator. This was design. Some alien mind had built these machines for a single purpose: to feed on dragons, to end their line, and for all their strength. The mighty herd was powerless. He whispered to himself, they can't fight fire with fire, but maybe they don't have to. The dragons turned their eyes to him, their great heads lowering again. You see now, human, the leader said, his voice trembling with anger. This is why we sought you. The man looked at the machines, his mind racing. He was no warrior, no sorcerer, but he was human, and humans survived by more than strength. They survived by wit, by tricks, by thinking differently. He breathed deeply. I will help you, he said, his voice steady. The herd stirred, their wings shifting with hope. But you must trust me and do as I say. Suspense hung heavy. The dragons, ancient rulers of the sky, bowed their heads once more. And in that moment, one fragile man carried the weight of an entire species. The journey into the mountains had shown him the truth. The enemy was not unstoppable, it was only a machine. And machines, no matter how strong, could be broken if you knew where to strike. The human's eyes narrowed as he stared at the crawling swarm. The dragons growled softly behind him, waiting for his command. The night wind howled, carrying the scent of fire and oil, and for the first time in his life, the human felt not fear, but purpose, for he had something no dragon did, the mind to outthink the impossible. The journey had only just begun, and in the shadows of ancient machines, the first sparks of a plan began to form. The valley lay in silence, broken only by the soft hum of alien machines. The human stood on the cliff beside the dragons, his eyes fixed on the swarm below. Each machine was black as night, shaped like an insect yet moving with unnatural precision. Their legs stabbed into the soil, their bodies pulsing with stolen light, and from every egg they drained, the dragon's future dimmed. The leader dragon growled, fire licking from his jaws. We attacked with flame, with claw, with storm. But they adapt, he said bitterly. When fire touched them, they grew stronger. When claws struck, their shells hardened. The human narrowed his eyes. They are built to fight dragons, not humans. He crouched low, scanning the machines. Their legs moved in patterns, their bodies shifting in rhythm. He noticed vents along their sides, glowing with faint heat, weak points. Places no dragon fire could reach without being absorbed. But a smaller hand, a human hand, could strike. The herd of dragons roared, their voices shaking the cliffs. But the human raised his arm, silencing them. You are too big, too strong. He said firmly, they were built to fight you, but not me. The dragons stared at him, their eyes wide with disbelief. A single fragile man daring to claim he could succeed where an entire herd had failed. Part 5 began the plan. The humans scavenged tools from the ruins, broken metal, shards of glass, coils of alien wire. The dragons watched as he worked, confused by his strange actions. To them, weapons were fire and claw. But to him, weapons were cleverness and timing. He bent the wire into loops, set shards of glass into traps. He covered the soil with false pots, leading the machines into dead ends. Every step was small, but every piece mattered. A young dragon leaned close, his silver scales glinting. Human, why do you waste time with toys? He asked. The man wiped sweat from his brow. Because toys can topple giants, if used to right, he answered. The dragon tilted his head, unable to understand. But something in the human's eyes kept him silent. When night fell, the human gathered the herd. He explained the plan in simple words. You will not fight as you always do, he said. You will distract, mislead, confuse. The dragons grumbled, unused to such orders. But their leader nodded, his golden eyes burning. We trust you. Human, he said. The herd bowed, and for the first time in history, dragons followed the command of a man. Then came part 6, the battle. The machines stirred at dawn, their legs stabbing into the ground as they crawled toward the eggs. But this time, the dragons did not charge with fury. They split into groups, flying in wide arcs, their fire cast not to destroy but to mislead. The machines turned, chasing flame, their patterns broken, and into the chaos stepped the human. He ran between their legs, slipping into shadows. The dragons watched from above as his small figure darted like lightning, where a dragon's claw would fail. His hand struck true. He shoved sharpened glass into vents, jammed wires into joints. The machines screamed in metallic shrieks, sparks bursting from their bodies. The herd roared in triumph, fire raining from the skies. For a moment, victory seemed close. One by one the machines fell, collapsing in showers of sparks. The eggs glowed brighter as their life drained back into them. The dragons roared their pride, their wings beating like thunder. But then the ground shook. From beneath the mountain, a shadow rose. The soil split apart as a colossal machine climbed out. Bigger than the herd, its body shaped like a fortress of steel. Its eyes glowed red, its claws wide as rivers. The dragons froze, fear piercing even their ancient hearts. The leader growled, This is the true enemy. The human stared at it, his chest tight with fear. But instead of retreating, he clenched his fists. No, he said softly, it's just another machine. And machines can be broken. The colossal machine roared with a sound like thunder tearing the world. It lashed out, swiping dragons aside, crushing cliffs. Its body absorbed fire like air. Claws bounced off its shell like twigs. The herd wailed in despair. But the human's eyes burned with fire of their own. He shouted to the dragons, keep it busy. Then he ran, fragile legs carrying him toward the monster's shadow. The dragons obeyed, hurling themselves at the machine, distracting it with flame and storm. Their bodies battered, their wings torn, but they kept fighting because they had chosen to trust him. The man climbed its leg, slipping into vents and cracks. Sparks burned his skin. Smoke filled his lungs, but he pressed on, deep inside. He saw the machine's core, a pulsing red crystal. He whispered, you are big, but you are blind. And he jammed the alien wire into the crystal, twisting with all his strength. The machine screamed, light bursting from its core. It threshed, its massive arms flailing. But it was too late. The human's small trick had struck its heart. With a final roar, it collapsed, crashing into the valley with a sound like mountains breaking. The dragons stared in silence, the herd frozen in disbelief. Their nests were safe, the eggs glowing with new life, and the fragile human stood on the fallen machine, his body weak, but his eyes burning with victory. Then came part 7, the lesson. The leader dragon bowed low, his massive head touching the soil. Human, he rumbled, we are storm, we are fire, we are claw. But today, we were nothing without you. The herd lowered their wings, their roars echoing with respect. The man shook his head. No, he said. You had the strength. I only showed you how to use it differently. The silver dragon asked softly, why risk your life for us when you are so small, so fragile? The man looked at the glowing eggs, at the future he had saved. Because survival is not just for the strong, he said. It is for those who choose to fight, no matter the odds. The dragon's eyes shone with awe. In their ancient tongues they whispered, humans are more dangerous than even dragons imagined. The herd roared together, not in fear, but in pride, for they had seen the truth. A human, fragile in body, carried fire far greater than any dragon flame, a fire of will, of choice, of defiance, and that was a power no machine, no enemy, no galaxy could ever match. The valley fell quiet again. The eggs glowed, the dragons rested, and the human walked among them, no longer small, no longer forgotten, for in that moment, he carried a new name, the one who taught dragons what humanity truly was.